Hi guys, today I'm going to show you a load of tips and tricks to make sure you can get your cakes looking bakery standard every single time. So we're going to start off making a simple syrup, so that's 1 part sugar and 1 part water, and we're using boiling water. So I've used about 2 tablespoons of each, and we're just going to brush this all over our cake. Now normally I would level the tops off my cake, but I thought today they weren't too humped, so I didn't think it was necessary. So you're going to flip those over and do the same thing. You want to be quite generous with your simple syrup because you don't want a dry cake. Now we've got a bit of chocolate buttercream here, and I also like to use a turntable. So this is just a cheap little turntable I got online. It just means you can move the cake around you rather than you moving yourself around the cake. I've also got a non-slip mat and a cake board which is 2 inches larger than the diameter of my cake, which I'm going to place a little blob of buttercream onto, and then my first layer of cake. And I'm going to place some buttercream on top, and we're going to spread that out. Now I like to go with a lot of buttercream rather than too little, because I find that it's easy to scrape it away rather than to sort of put it back on. So I like to go in heavy and then I scrape it away until I've just got a nice sort of centimetre layer of buttercream. And on your next layer of cake, now normally I would do 3 layers of cake, because this is a 6-inch cake, I've only done 2. I'll leave all the details of ingredients and quantities for the cakes and things in the description box below. So add another blob of buttercream and we're going to spread that around, and then using a small offset spatula we're going to like sort of fold the lip of buttercream down over the side of the cake and spread it around. Now you may find that you don't have enough buttercream on the sides of your cake, so you may need to go back to your bowl, grab a bit more buttercream and just spread that out. But we just want a thin layer of icing. Now it's just a crumb coat, so it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just going to trap in all the crumbs and the moisture. So I use a bench scraper. This is just a plastic one, you get them at cake decorating supply stores, and we're just going to pull that around the cake. And then you want to wipe off any excess buttercream, and we're just going to keep doing this until it's smooth. If I show you sort of zoomed out angle, I like to cross over my arm, so my left arm is right underneath, and then I'll do a nice full sweep of the curtain table. So we're going to pull that layer of buttercream into the centre of the cake and wipe it off onto your bench scraper. And then you're going to pop that into the fridge for about an hour until the buttercream is firm to touch. More buttercream goes on top, and I'm using a straight spatula this time. I'm just going to take dollops of it and spread it onto the side of the cake. Now we want to do quite a thick layer here, because with the bumpy effect we're going to achieve, we want a lot of buttercream so we can scrape it all away. So I'm just spreading buttercream around. If you need to get more from the bowl, go back to the bowl. We're just going to spread that evenly around the whole sides of our cake. So then we're going to go back in with our bench scraper again, scraping around. Now this doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to go over it again in a minute, but just get it as even as you possibly can. Scrape off the top just quickly so it's nice and smooth. And then we're going to use a different scraper. This is one with a zigzaggy edge, and I'm using the larger zigzags. And you want to hold it not at 90 degrees. If you hold it at 90 degrees, you'll just get like indents into your buttercream. If you hold it at quite an angle, quite close angle to the cake, you get a nice smooth, bumpy effect. So you want to keep going around the cake like that, just holding it still and moving your turntable until you get a smooth finish. When you pull away, make sure your comb is quite close to the cake and you'll get a nice, neat finish. Drag in that top layer of buttercream if you've got any formed, and then the finishing touch is just taking your scraper, and if you just pull that a couple of times across the top of the cake, it really smooths off the whole top and you get a nice flat surface. Now we're going to start creating our letters. So I actually use Word to make a template, so I'm just making a circle, putting it at 6 inches the diameter of my cake, and I'm just typing happy birthday using a nice font, and we're going to print that out. And then we're going to cover that with a piece of baking paper, and then I got some blue candy melts, and I got it in a piping bag with a really thin nozzle. It's probably a millimetre or so. I'm just going to pipe out happy birthday. Now the great thing about doing it onto baking paper, not directly onto your cake, is if you mess it up you can just do another word and just pick your best letters. And also when you try and pick up like this, my H broke, so I just used a different one that I'd created. So you're going to pick up those with a sharp knife. I'm not using a palette knife, I'm using a really sharp knife. And we're going to place those onto your cake. Now it's best if you start in the centre here, so we're happy with the P, otherwise you find your words might be offset. Now if you put your letter down and it's not quite in the right place, you've got a couple seconds before it starts to stick, just use the tip of your knife to move it around. On the bottom of the cake we're going to go in with some sprinkles, and it's nice to add a variety of sprinkles there. And then I'm using a little small star tip, again with some piping bag and some more of that buttercream. I'm just piping a shell border all the way around the cake, so you pull up and pull away, all around the top border of the cake. When you get to the end, you just want to do one and sort of tuck it around the outside of that first one. And that's literally it. Now I do sell these cakes on my website. If you want more details of that, you can click the link. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can click here to see my last video and here to see a video randomly selected by YouTube for you.